Welcome back to some more One Hub Racing this evening. It's time for some ACC, and we head to John's favourite track, Barcelona. Well, one of John's favourite tracks. His other favourite track is Spa, but Spa's not on the calendar. But it's gonna be Barcelona, Catalonia for the 2 sprint races here tonight. So we've got me tonight because, unfortunately, John's voice has decided to play up and have a bit of an issues. So, yeah, it's just me at the moment because Discord literally was playing up just a moment ago. But I do believe we've got Discord back up. I'm having no problems connecting to the Discord chat. But, Chromedix is having issues, so hopefully we can try and get him into the commentary box as soon as we can. But until then, you got just me. We got the GT4s about to do their qualifying session. But whilst we do that, I'm going to be literally, I didn't have long to prepare for this stream because I didn't know I was going to be streaming tonight. But here we go. So, okay dokes. So let me get the standings up for you. So, last week we were at Misano and Floppy Fox won that race, quite dominantly in fact, but I think it was around about 30 seconds that the race was won for. Apex Rogue finished in 5th, so he was having a poor race to be fair, not gonna lie. But it has been quite a few drivers who had their best results of the season. Fly Sky finished in 2nd. He got driver of the day as well, which was great to see. So if I just scroll down, that is all your results. So Apex Rogue is in 2nd in the championship. Irish Bulldog in 3rd. Samba 4th. Builder in 5th. Michael Gallo in 6th. Camo Baba in 7th. Fly Sky in 8th. Corrado in 9th. Jason in 10th. We have got a new driver. Well, he's not quite new, but he is new. We have got Connor, who is joining us. Last time he joined us was last season, I believe. Or was it season 1? I can't remember. But he is here tonight. We will go through your GT4 standings, if it will load. There we go. So, Carmentalist won again. The only time he hasn't won a race was Zambor, believe it or not. Arnard finished in 2nd in the race. He's in P2 of the championship. Well, for Commentalist, it's for his to lose. Not gonna lie. Philip Bordow finished 5th in the race, unfortunately. But he's still 3rd in the championship. Khalifa in 4th. Thomas Sizer in 5th. He's no longer in the league. Eddie in 6th position. Badgeman got his best result of the season last week. He got his first podium in 7th. Then we've got Bowers in 8th position, Rageman in 9th. And our newest driver to the league, who's making his return after being in ACC last season. You're having a giggle, mate. What a name. What a name. So I'm gonna undeafen myself on Discord, just so if Chromedix can get back on, he can. Hopefully he can. Fingers crossed. If he can't, it will just be me. So without further ado, let's head on to the track for Barcelona. Where is the action slide? I can't find it. There we go. I found it. Took me a while, but there we go. So there is quite a few things to point out about this track actually, and I do have some music on in the background as well, so I need to actually turn that off. That will help me, Jessica. So it is a track that rewards cars with a balanced setup, especially with the GT3s. Now, we commentated on a pre-season race in season 1, and it was quite an interesting development. We saw our own Dexter, who is working tonight. He's not going to be in the chat, but Dexter won that pre-season race. Oh, was it Dexter? I can't remember. It was either Dexter or someone else. I don't know, but Dexter did quite well in that pre-season race anyway. This track features high and medium speed corners, and you also got the long pitch straight as well, giving a great overtaking opportunity. And it also requires the car to have enough downforce for the corners too. So, we are going to be riding on board with a few drivers. We've got Philip Bordout, who set the first time on the board. We didn't have time to get all the pre-race interviews because, again, Discord was down for like an hour and a bit, and we do rely on our Discord for pre-race interviews, and hopefully I do see a certain Chromadix in the chat. Christian, can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yay!
Yeah, we're back online.
Yes, we are back online, and we're live, by the way. So, welcome, Christian, again to the commentary box. I'm glad you saved me because it would have been hard doing it alone. But yeah, Catalunya is quite a different track compared to Mazzano. But what is interesting about tonight, we have got 2 races tonight and 2 qualifying sessions. So they're used to endurances tonight, well, for this season. But for the second time, they'll have to get used to short races. What will be their approach for these 2 races tonight then?
Well, probably considering there are 2 races, 2 qualifying, maybe the first one could just be a bit of a let's go with less try-harding than the second one, most because you have to get used to everything. So if you know there is a spare race, I don't say that you can slow down, but you can approach everything safer. So you don't have to destroy yourself to get on the maximum instantly, because there are 30-minute races. So 30-minute races means that you have to be quick to be up to speed, but most drivers are better doing in the long runs. So probably some drivers are going to be better in first race and some drivers are better in second race. But obviously it all depends on one thing called luck, because there isn't a pit. So if you damage your car, it's game over, pretty much. And the mindset for second race gets hurted, like on Zandvoort the last time that happened. So it's Barcelona. Not many overtaking spots, probably turn 1, turn 4. I will say turn 5. End of second sector. So the little airplane that doesn't exist anymore, thanks to Formula 1. Pretty much those are the hotspot the track, and it's pretty long. So GT4 it's also pretty wide. So GT4 shouldn't be a big of a problem. And now that I said it, it's going to be certainly a problem. And also we have some new names.
Yes,
that
we
aren't
do.
appearing for now.
Yes, and we do have one who shouldn't really be racing on the track at the moment because he's gone out at the wrong time. A certain person has not read the rules, unfortunately. So if someone is, engineering Connor, can you tell him to go into the pits because he's not meant to qualify until 10 minutes to go. So, but you're having a giggle, mate, is on the track at the moment, and he is I'm just trying to see, looking at the standings, if he's GT3 or GT4. He's GT4, so he should be on the track. You're having a giggle, mate, so that's all good. So he like I said earlier, he was here last season as well. Wanted to take a little bit of a break for a bit, but now he's back racing with us, which is all the merrier as well. Few people were asked questions in the pre-race interviews. Eddie was being asked about how it's been so difficult to overtake, as you were pointing out, Christian. He said he thinks he's got plenty of spaces to overtake there, so he's been practicing quite a bit around here and trying to see if there's any other GT4 drivers that responded. Badgerman has responded to that overtake question. Very similar, but not exactly the same. But that's how it's almost been every race so far this season. Anyway, the best qualifiers tend to be the best in the race. And since we do have access to Discord, I could check more pre-race interviews. Yay, Car Mentalist was asked the same question, and he said, I don't actually think it's hard to pass here. The track is wide, GT cars can follow quite easily, and the pit straight is long. We'll see plenty of action. So they are proving us wrong here at the moment. They're thinking that they can overtake, but it's obviously harder to overtake than most circuits. Car Mentalist, P1 at the moment, in a GT4s. Khalifa in second. Ignore Connor's time at the moment. He has been warned that he's not meant to set a lap time yet. I don't know what's going to happen with him. Or we need to double check with Milden, who is our coordinator for tonight, whilst Dexter isn't here. Philip Bordow is in third. Arnold fourth. Eddie fifth. Badgerman sixth. You're having a giggle, mate. Has not set a lap time yet. He's gone off the track. And, yeah, not good. And then we got Rageman in seventh position. So we'll wait for the GT3 to come out on the circuit now as well. A car that we are quite familiar with as well. Let's see if we can... Floppy Fox is not on track yet, but Iris the Bulldog didn't win last week. Surely this could be his chance to go back to winning race, because that was where he made his One Hub Racing debut in the sprint races and Zandvoort. So... do you think last week was just a one-off for him, that he didn't get a win?
Probably it was a wet race. Wet race are honestly, many people have a lot of troubles in wet race, and a lot of people are incredibly good in wet races. I think the best example in this sentence is Fly Sky, who did a podium. And honestly, until then, I wouldn't have bet a single euro on him getting a podium, I'll be honest. And wet races are honestly a bit of a change of everything for drivers. So sometimes it could just end on being better on a different surface and being worse in different surfaces. All depending on consistency, pacecraft, racecraft, stability. Car, even the car does is it's not say magics, but tricks. Some cars are better in the wet, and some cars are Audis. So you understand where my point is. Probably this one will be the last. Even the 30-minute one will be the last race where we can give an effective judgment on it is the Bulldog, and effectively claim if he is very good, because he destroyed the competition in Zandvoort. He did a perfect race on buffers. Misano was a bit of a bummer for him, considering the events that occurred. Probably this race, especially the first one more than the second, will be the effective one to declare if he's enough to be tiered into the pros of the championship. So altogether with Car Mentalist for GT4s or Floppy Fox for GT3s.
Yes, indeed. Floppy Fox then, he is heading towards turn number 1 now, as well past turn number 1, heading towards turn 2 and 3 as I get the right camera there. Oh, there we go, eventually got it. Sorry about the racing line, but you just have to deal with it at the moment. Heavy braking zone here, going into turn 4. There's a slight little kink heading towards heading towards turn 5 here, and then there's going to be about a kink heading towards turn 7. Now this track is also known for its aerodynamic qualities as well, because the wind direction can change ever so slightly, so some cars can have some drag with the aerodynamics and quite a bit of understeer as well, especially towards turn 9. So he is coping actually quite well, Floppy Fox, as well, so he has been putting some practice in. Heading towards turn number 10, which I have to say is quite a lot better than obviously the F1 games, as they head towards turn 12 as well. A few people can run off there. Much more space, like the drivers were saying, in these GT cars to make an overtake compared to the F1 cars. because the F1 cars are slightly bigger, because I know some of you have come from F1. So we've got Floppy Fox then heading towards the final corner. We will see what lap time he will set in the GT3. It is second position, a 1:45.864 for the race winner from last week. And it is Apex Rogue who is on pole at the moment. He was on our cold list this week because I'm trying to find why he was cold. Had his joint worst result of the season last time out and inopportune time. Will he be able to overcome this, or has the downward trend already begun? Well, the downward trend is not happening at the moment for Apex Rogue, isn't it? He's flying up there at the top, and we still got the likes of Samba, Milden and Corrado to set lap times as well. So, obviously, Apex Rogue is proving why he shouldn't be on the cold list.
It's more about the effective overall performances. So, I mean, I think that effectively he has had a bad race last time that has been improved just by others' mistake. But honestly, the last one wasn't exactly the best one out there. But honestly, it's Barcelona. The Audi is probably the strongest car around here, and in fact, I've been right about it, because he just set the fastest time in the leaderboard with a 1:35.1.
Wow.
7 times ahead of Fluffy Fox. So that effectively is it's Audi in Barcelona. Audi and Barcelona are an extremely good combo. Rogue is an extremely good driver. Fluffy Fox just didn't make it to first place because he's just 24 thousandths away from Rogue. But yeah, down. Okay, I can speak, I promise. Downward trend is honestly something you have to avoid mentally more than effectively, because if you start thinking, oh no, I'm going down, oh no, I'm doing wrong, oh no, I'm not doing things right, you start to question yourself. Questioning yourself means that you are more prone to get anxious, go doing mistakes, and possibly end your race even before it starts.
Yeah, and you definitely do not want that. You're having a giggle, mate, is out on circuit, and he's not meant to be, so he will probably get another warning from the stewards, just like Connor did. But there we go. We've got all the GT4s out. Samba's crossing the line. Now, he's been up there some weeks, and he got a win this season as well, in third position at the moment. He's going out for another run. Now, the GT3 drivers were asked about overtaking around here. Milden doesn't find it too difficult to overtake around here. Thomas Ferreira, which he's not in the lobby at the moment. He should be here. I think he's one of our other new drivers. He's well prepared for this challenge at Barcelona. Jason thinks the field will be more close together at Barcelona. He hopes today not to be in last position, but that could possibly show, maybe. But there is 2 races, so anything can happen. And Floppy Fox says the last race he had here, it ended in the stewards getting involved with him being the victor. You can overtake, but you mostly need to rely on mistakes of others. Hopefully, they do happen to other people. Floppy Fox, you are cruel. You wanting other people to make mistakes so you could do well. Jesus Christ, man. You're just, but he's third at the moment. Oh, but look at this. Iris the Bulldog is back on form. 1:45.069. This is what we like to see for him in the Bentley as well. Usually the Bentley does not do well around here. So he's buckling the trend at the moment. 6/100 quicker than Apex Rogue. Anyone else across the line? Samba's across the line. Let's see what he could do in the Porsche. Oh, he's so close to P1, but 2/100 slower. Just look at that top four, Christian. They're just so close. This is going to be a interesting fight. And that's what's so brilliant about sprint races. Someone could win the first race, but someone completely different could win the next race. I think that's going to be my prediction. I think for the GT3s tonight, we will have 2 different race winners.
And Rogue is back on pole. Rogue is back on pole with a 44.8. So the only one to get under the 45. And there is the Bulldog. And then Floppy Fox in third position, just 6 thousandths in front of Samba. So now we have the second, third, and fourth barely with something gapping them. And then Rogue with the Audi. Effectively ahead of everyone else for now. Because Floppy Fox actually didn't make the last lap. So now it's up to Iris the Bulldog and Samba, unless someone else goes a bit quicker. I still don't understand why Connor didn't qualify in the last 10 minutes. Probably the fact that he went out means that he couldn't get his laps afterwards. Even Samba on the pits, so the only one remaining effectively is Iris the Bulldog, who is currently arriving at the last hairpin of, well, not the last, yes, it's well, it depends, because the double right, it's I think it's more sharp tune than an hairpin, but whatever, doesn't mean it doesn't, it's not important. So now it is the Bulldog into the chicane, the rack chicane. Just the last bit, it's probably the most important bit, because you can lose a lot of time, but also you can cut a lot of time if you can nail it correctly. Just on the last one, into the straight, which is one of the longest in the calendar, and this not enough to get into P1, so now Rogue is the pole position and effectively the lead of the race 1.
Yes, so the first race this evening, Apex Rogue will be on pole, just like him going back to winning ways from round number 1 where he won the first race, which was brilliant to see. So there's your results. Apex Rogue on pole, Irish the Bulldog in second, Floppy Fox third, Samba in fourth, Light Sky in fifth, Connor sixth, Milden seventh, Jason in eighth, Corrado in ninth. Your GT4s, we have got Car Mentalist in P1, Khalifa having his best qualifying of the season in P2, Philip Bordeaux in P3, Arnaud P4, he's second in the championship, Eddie 5th, Rageman 6th, Bajman in 7th, Yamin and Gigglemate in 8th, and I'm trying to remember what, yeah, I believe Thomas is, wait, I'm just trying to see.
Yeah, Thomas has joined the...
Is he GT3? I think he's GT3.
No, he's GT4.
Is he GT4? Okay, he's GT4, yep. So... yes, he is last out of GT4s because he did not set a time, but since he came to the session late, he's not meant to go to the session late, unfortunately. But there are rules that the drivers have been told to follow, and you know, if they do not follow it, they're going to be in quite a bit of trouble. So let's go a few of our sponsors then. So we are powered by the SimGrid, who do a lot to help us with our standings, sign-ups and all that, and lots of other great stuff. They also help promote the league, so thank you to the SimGrid. We also got Next Level Racing, who are providing prizes for our F1 leagues. More information about that on Friday. That's when the trailer will be launching, so make sure you check that out to find out what Next Level Racing will be given this season. Then we got 3M Sim Racing, who provide some sim racing gloves to us, so thank you very much to them. We have got Vespertine, who support our lovely merchandise that we have. You can get it on our Vespertine at One Hub Racing store. So once again, thank you to Vespertine. And then we've got the Mental Health Foundation. It is good to talk, especially with what's going on at the moment with Ukraine, Russia. A few drivers still have the Ukraine livery for this week. So, which is quite touching, not gonna lie. So thank you very much to them. And we have got ERT, the league that Dexter co-owned with ERT Thomas. They'll be sponsoring our trophies for this season, and they also partner the ERT Going Gets Tough award. So there we go. Those are our sponsors. We're about to get underway with our first race of the evening, 30 minutes as well. And if you are new to ACC and One Hub in general, our sprint races, no pit stops. No mandatory pit stops for the drivers during the sprint races, which is what I think the drivers will be relieved about. They'll just be concentrating on the action on track. If they do pit, it means they will get damage. They'll probably have got damage if they pitted. So there we go. They don't have to pit. I wonder if any of the drivers will remember that. So I believe Corrado has forgotten to press drive, which is not ideal. But there we go. It happens. So we've got all of our drivers doing the formation lap and the rolling start soon as well. Good chance to look at some more pre-race interviews actually as well. People were asked, were they built for sprint events this week? Most people were not. Badgerman said he thrives on the endurance stuff. 30 minutes isn't enough for everything. Floppy Fox doesn't think the GT3 and GT4 grids work well with sprint races. He doesn't mind them himself as you get 2 bites of the cherry. But when you're sprinting with a pack this close, it would help if I actually get the action up. There we go. But when you're sprinting with a pack close behind, it can cause carnage. Longer races promote more patience as you have more time to make up for passing GT4s. You don't get that with sprint races. Milden is not built for sprint races. Rogue thinks he's not good for anything, but we'll see how it goes for him. He's on pole position. So there we go. He probably was not expecting that. Corrado says he will see. Eddie loves the sprint format. Thomas thinks it's okay for him. He sees no problem in shorter races as long as they're good for racing. And I don't think Jason asked the first question. And what did Car Mentalist say? If I can find the pre-race interviews, blah, 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 blah. He's definitely not made for sprint races. He's more of an endurance strategy person, so it's a difficult challenge. Connor says he's not sure, but it's a godsend because all he's done is play GT7 since launch. And his shoulders hurt. Well, to be fair, I've been playing GT7 for the last couple of days. And I absolutely love it. But there we go. So, Christian, I'm going to put you on the spot for the first race. Pick who you think's going to win in GT3 and who do you think's going to win in GT4s. Is it going to be our pole sitters or is it going to be someone different?
Probably. I have a weakness towards the Audi because I love it as a car, but I still have to figure out how to drive it properly. But here I think I've made the best races with that car, and it's astonishing to drive it around here. It's basically the perfect track for it. So I think Rogue has all the cars needed for it because it's a sprint race, he's in pole. He has less time possible to make mistake, so it helps him. And if he can stay behind anyone, if he can put anyone behind him, it's done. He just have to get himself to not get himself in trouble, and it's done. In GT4, probably Car Mentalist because his other rivals, Filippo Del and Arnaud, are not directly behind him. But are behind him, but in grid, are not side by side with him. Probably Car Mentalist has the right cards to get into another win for him. Little information: Corrado didn't make into the grid because apparently he didn't start in time. So
yeah, that's what I said at the start. That's what I said at the start. He didn't press drive, unfortunately, which you're meant to do. It's not like F1 where that you automatically get sent to the grid. You have to click on drive to do that. But we are green for the first sprint race of the night, and it is Iris the Bulldog who gets a better start from Apex Rogue as they make their way towards turn 1. Samba also gets a good start as well, so I wonder if Apex Rogue has been left for dry here. To the GT3s make their way towards the apex here as well. Iris the Bulldog is up to the lead of the race. We've got Floppy Fox who's also had a good start. We've got Fly Sky as well trying to tuck in himself there side by side between the GT3s of Rogue and Iris the Bulldog. I think Apex Rogue has got the race lead now in this GT3. He's got a bit wide though. Can Iris the Bulldog fight back? We've got someone running a bit wide in the background. They head towards turn 4 there as well. This is great stuff from the top 2 at the moment. Samba's now up into P3. Fly Sky was up to 4th for the time being, but Floppy Fox got him back right now, but Apex Rogue had a bit of a mare at the start, but he has recovered as your race leader. And Iris the Bulldog doing a cracker job there, but unfortunately Apex Rogue was just fighting back and he was not letting them have the position. So GT4's then Carmenta still hangs on into first place, but Khalifa has dropped down into second place. Philip Bourdal had a brilliant start from Khalifa, so he's made his way into second. Arnold stays in fourth position, but he's chasing down I think obviously one of the GT3s, I believe, or it might be a green car that he was chasing. I'm trying to think which green car it was. It was Rageman, actually.
No, it was
Rageman. He got chased, but there we go. So the GT3 start was quite mental, I have to say. Didn't see what the GT4s were, but we got side-by-side action between Khalifa and Thomas Vira as we head towards this chicane as they run a bit wide again. But
from the outside, there's a touch.
They made contact. That is not good, Chromedix, is it?
Actually, all the chicane was made basically launching the car from both the drivers. Thomas Beer actually put the car still inside. He was effectively on a right spot because he gave enough space. But probably Khalifa outbraking himself because he went wide. They probably collected some rubber from the outside. Oh! The Audi of Rageman goes completely wide, misses completely the apex and loses several positions. I think he probably lost about just on or now the position. So he actually managed to save as much time as possible, but it was very close, a very close call with the cars in front of him. Probably Khalifa has noticed something in his mirror. But I was saying Thomas Vieira actually went inside and Khalifa probably outbreaking himself just because he went a bit wide on track and collected some dust. And by the way, Thomas Vieira made a perfect start because he started from last, so P18, P17 effectively, up into P11 and into the podium for the GT4s. While Arnold went the other way around because he was even behind the Rageman, so he lost several times, probably a lost start from him that redirected him behind, and now he has gained some time back, but it's not a long race, so he needs to be quick.
Yeah, it's not like endurance races where they have like an hour to find their groove, and if they make a mistake, then they can recover, maybe go into the pits potentially. You really don't want to go into the pits in these sprint races. You definitely do not. So one's near the back now, they're going to struggle a bit more. But we will see as the race goes on. We're already 4 minutes into this sprint race right now. That's how quick it has gone so far. Apex Road pulling away from Iris the Bulldog up in front for lap 2 and 7/10 of a second. Then between Iris the Bulldog and Samba is about 8/10 of a second as well. I'm just loving this battle. I can see why John likes this track to commentate the sprint races. I'm absolutely gutted he's missing tonight, but get well soon, John. He literally can't speak at the moment. When he tries to even speak to his missus, he finds it tricky at the moment. So, yeah, get better soon. Let's hope he's back next week. I think this will be his final race he's commentating on this season because he's not going to be here for the finale. So, shame he's not here tonight. But get better soon, my friend. And rest up if you can. But I think he's not at work this evening. No, he's not. So, he's probably watching the stream, hopefully. Fingers crossed if you are. But you probably might be watching it back. But 6/10 now. Iris the Bulldog has closed in. Oh, that's very tight going through towards turn 10. I think the GT3s are just all tightly matched at the moment. The only GT3 that's not is Jason. He was a bit wide about his pace in the GT3s tonight. But he's still got 24 minutes to climb his way up the field as well. Eddie is just behind Badgerman as they make their way towards turn 9. Eddie's still having the Ukraine livery, which is great to see. Actually, let's go on board with Eddie for the time being.
There is probably Thomas Vieira is a bit of a good race because he has completely annihilated the gap he had from Philip Bodale, and actually he's right on his back. And he's probably going to try the overtake, not now because there is physically not the space, but in the space of one single lap, he managed to get from 1.7 seconds to probably 2 times. So he wants the win, and Car Mentalist is just in front of him. So he's probably trying the first challenge, not by purpose, because he actually lost the qualify. But yeah, if it works, it works. I won't complain.
Yeah, exactly. Thomas Vieira, to be fair, he is doing all he can. Don't forget, he started at the back as well, like you were saying, and we didn't see what his qualifying pace was because he didn't join in time. But I have to say, he would have been up there in qualifying. I would have called that right now. He is a quick driver, and
I can say it for sure because
have you raced him?
It's my teammate.
Oh, it's your teammate! Oh, yes, okay, there we go. So, if you jinx Thomas tonight, then it's all on you, Chromadays.
I'm the boss, I can do it.
Wow, there's going to be some rivalry there, I'm sure, between these two. But we've also got Car Mentalist in there as well. So, Car Mentalist, like we said earlier, he is not a big fan of those sprint races, and it is showing at the moment because he's got Thomas and Philip chasing him down at the moment. The rest of the GT4s are pretty much having their own battle. The likes of Khalifa and Arnell, they're having their own battle. Oh, look at this. Thomas Vieira almost trying to get the move into turn 11 and 12. The gradient changes ever so slightly around here, which could be quite hard to master between these cars. So we'll see if Thomas could get on the right-hand side of the chicane, which is hard to do on F1 cars, but a lot easier to do here as well. But unfortunately, he can't do it right now. We'll keep an eye on the GT.
Oh, overtake for the first place because it is the Bulldog. He's actually got into the inside of Rogue. And Rogue still defends the inside of turn 4, side by side, quite tremendously, trying to get every single bit of track for Rogue. And Rogue stays in front just by the tiny bit of the Audi, and with a bit of courage actually, because he tries to push him into the outside, which is perfectly just justifiable because it's the lead of the race and it's a 30 minutes race. You don't want to lose any single second from it. And now it is the Bulldog just behind him, but probably it won't be the only attack from the Greek driver.
Wow, I have to say thank you for jumping in next, otherwise we would have missed this cracking battle. And look at this, they're fighting again almost. Iris the Bulldog almost got the move done there on Apex Rogue, and Samba and Floppy Fox, they're in no man's land at the moment in the GT3s, trying to catch up to Apex Rogue and Iris the Bulldog. But this could be, I think, a battle between these two for the wins. Maybe we could see both of them winning races tonight due to the fact there are 2 sprint races, and of course we got second qualifying coming up for you as well. So let's actually go on board with Iris the Bulldog then, as we make our way towards turn number 1. Let's go on the on-board shot there. He's a little bit further back at the moment, so I think the moves we're going to see is potentially towards turns 9 and 10 is where we're potentially going to see the move, potentially towards turn 6 and 7 as well. But Apex Rogue has gone a bit wide going through turn 3. Now, you've got to be very gentle on the throttle. I found that on GT7, racing in these type of cars as well. You can't just throw it like in F1.
Oh, Thomas, you're in the inside of chicane. Thomas inside of Philip. Oh, there's been a touch, and they spun. And Philip spun the orange BMW that now is probably in 6th position.
That is absolutely gutting that they spun there, because that could have been a very, very good battle between the GT4s of Thomas and Philip there. But there we go. That is a bit of a shame, unfortunately. Can Iris the Bulldog go for a lunge on Apex Rogue into turn 10? He does not. Oh, that was almost enough for him, for Iris the Bulldog, but he is starting to recover a little bit. Milden's also having a battle with Connor as well, so that could prove to be quite interesting as well. And because of this, Philip Bordow and Thomas colliding. Car Mentalist is leading by 3.4 seconds. Everything seems to be going his way right now. All it takes is for like thunder and lightning to strike his car or something, and he would probably crash. Only joking. We don't want that to happen, of course. We want to see all the drivers do well. And according to Dexter, actually, I was speaking about Thomas earlier, before the crash. Dexter was saying that Thomas was rapid in the practice session, so even though he had that crash just now, watch him in the second qualifying session, in my opinion, because that is where he's going to be the most rapid at the moment. So thank you for pointing that out, Dexter, as well. So we've got, I think, some of the GT4s being lapped by the GT3s already.
Oh, the Audi is a bit too wide on turn 4. Sorry for interrupting you.
No, it's fine, carry on.
Looking. And now the Audi lost quite a bit. Oh, giant oversteer from the Bentley. Both of the drivers are getting too much on throttle because both of them are getting too much throttle because Rogue went too wide because he actually braked too late, and it is the Bulldog went the other way around, so he nearly spun the car. The Bentley is an oversteer killer. The Bentley is as a turbo lag quite visible, I would say, because it's not just a sensation, you can physically see. And the number 8 is off, Floppy Fox is off track! Floppy Fox is actually stopped on track. It's different. I don't know what happened.
What was that? He's out!
He gone.
He's out the race! So has he retired then?
Yes. I don't know what happened because it never happened that someone broke his car,
out.
I guess.
Yeah, that was very, very weird. So last week's race winner is out of the race now. Unless, well, I don't think he can join back because, or it might be his wheel disconnected.
Oh,
I don't know.
Arnaldo for this third position now into the outside of the turn 5, sorry. And Thomas Weir actually get into the inside of the two of them. So it's actually a freeway out for the same position, which is the third in class for the GT4s, and actually Khalifa and Arnaud are trying to get side by side into the chicane, which is quite frankly a bit difficult. Khalifa gets into the inside both times because actually tries to switch. It's a free wide into the right hander, and it's Thomas Weir into the inside. Khalifa into the middle, and now the outside, and now they got the master of the speed and actually got the position, so now he is in for the position. But Khalifa has to defend from the BMW driver who has the pace to get into the second position, which is just seconds in front of him, because apparently Philippe Baudal got some damages, I think, and now Khalifa has to really defend because Thomas tried the outside. Thomas now will try the inside after, I think. The chicane seems a very hot spot for him because he made 3 overtakes in the single hairpin. Khalifa managed to defend the inside both times, so quite good. Thomas Vera completely annihilates the bump on the chicane, like it's nowhere. And now there is a one straight for the 3 of them to get into the third position, and then in the chase for the number 888, which is just 3 seconds ahead. So probably Philippe Baudal made a slight mistake that costed him some seconds, because I think that the gap between the drivers, among the drivers, was a bit higher. And yeah, that's it. I spoke very fast, I admit.
Oh, well, to be fair, you were excited by this 3 wide moves, and I have to say I got a little bit too excited as well, so I just let you carry on there. I have to say that was quite crazy between these 3. How on earth did they not make a crash out of all of that? That's just insane. And we got Thomas Weir's going to go side by side in towards turn 5 then, heading towards almost the kick of turn 6 coming up right now. We're going to see if Thomas has that extra speed that he needs to try and get past Khalifa, heading towards turn 7, clipping that left apex. Arnold is hoping that these two can keep fighting and fighting for dear life here. It's cameraman, why are you cutting to a wrong position? There we go. Turn 9 they go, running a little bit wide then. Thomas trying to get on the right hand side of Khalifa. He does. Thomas Weir is in 4th position. Sorry if I pronounced his name wrong, by the way, but now they head towards turn 10. I'm sure Khalifa could get the cut back there, but he does not. But I have to say, this is absolutely crazy between those. I'm sure that there's so many things happening in the GT3s, but this GT4 midfield battle is incredible, and Eddie's starting to close in on this battle as well. That's just absolutely insane. I can't believe John is missing this. He would have absolutely loving this right now. Thomas's best lap at the moment was a 1:55.0 in the GT4s. I'm trying to remember what pole was in the GT4s. It wasn't that far off Thomas's race lap time, so he is a quick guy, as we are starting to see more positions being moved around, and Corrado is out of the race. So we've got 2 GT3s out of this race already, and I think this three-way battle for, I would say, was it P3? It's pretty much all the gaps are being increased at the moment.
Gonna be P2 in the short time because Arnaud lost another Arnaud gained another half seconds to the 888. So I wonder if the touch they had now he has gained back to the time. But I wonder if the touch he got from the chicane with Thomas has actually ruined, and I'm quite surprised to say it, the GT4 in his aerodynamic. P1, P2 throwing it's another battle, and these 2 drivers in GT3 are constantly giving us a battle because apparently Iris the Bulldog wants to pass. Rogue is just too wide. He is trying to cover the whole width of the track somehow. And that was very a late break.
There's Eddie, I think. There's Eddie in the BMW. Eddie's being lapped by the 2 chasing GT3s, having a battle, and that's what you got to deal with in the sprint races. You've got to deal with people trying to battle for dear life for position and with less fuel loads. Plus, you've got to deal with GT4s as well. This is going to be tight. Look at this. Iris the Bulldog. To the left-hand side he goes. Now to the right he goes. He stays behind her. Apex Rogues try to cover off the inside as they make their way towards turn 13. Now heading towards this tight and twisty chicane. And I'm almost certain that you do not want to make a move there. And I don't know why that corner is there in racing. In my opinion, it should be removed. But there we go. As Apex Road try and get past some more GT4s. I believe it's our GT4. I think it was Badgerman.
The next GT4s are actually in battle because it's another Thomas Vieira trying to battle for the fourth position. Actually, and Thomas Vieira launched the car into the Porsche in turn 1. Fleska into the pits for some reasons, and Thomas Vieira gets into the outside with the 2 GT3s just behind him, so it needs really
sorry.
quick.
Sorry about that scream there. This is just absolutely insane. Both of us are trying to get words in edge rays at the moment. We're seeing the GT3s getting past as well.
Oh, big touch! Rogue actually got hit by the Bentley.
Oh no! I'll let you carry on because I've been speaking for far too long.
No, you didn't actually. I did most of it, but long story short, it is the Bulldog just tapped the Audi, so nothing lost. But the problem is that now Samba is behind them.
Wow! That is how these guys could get closing up, because they get held up by the GT4, and then Samba's like, you know what? I'll try and catch up as well. So we'll see. Iris the Bulldog, he's passed the GT4s quite comfortably. And now he's got to stay behind Apex Road for the time being. Unless he finds a way for Apex Road to go wide a little bit as well. Samba's also passed the GT4 as well. And we've got Milden and Connor just making their way to 4th and 5th position. There's only 7 GT3 drivers still in this race. And we've got Jason in 6th position. It'll be his best result just by staying on track. So, to be fair, that's very, very good for Jason. 10 minutes to go. I kind of wish it was a longer race. I kind of wish there was 2 1-hour long races. But there we go. We don't have time for 2 1-hour long races. Maybe another topic for another day. But 4 tenths now is the gap between Apex Rogue and Iris the Bulldog. Now, obviously, we said that the Audi is quicker here. Not many people in Season 1, where we did this for pre-season, picked the Bentley. And I think more people picked the Bentley next season, knowing that Iris the Bulldog is matching the pace of the Audi of Apex Rogue, who's predicted to be quicker. Samba the Porsche. I have to say the Porsche is looking quite quick as well. Not as quick in qualifying, but very quick in the race. He's 5 tenths behind as well. We saw a three-way wide battle for the GT4s. We could see a three-way battle for the GT3s as well at this rate. This is absolutely insane. I'm almost certain that we're both going to lose our voices by the end of this this stream. But that is because all the drivers are putting on a brilliant show at the moment as they make their way towards turn 9. Here they come then. Can Samba go on the charge that he is looking for? He's right on the back of Iris the Bulldog. Go to the right-hand side into turn 10 as well. Apex Rogue, he's got to keep an eye on him as well. And ELT Samba stays behind Iris the Bulldog. It's going to go either way between these three at the moment. All three of them have won a race this season. The only three to have won a race this season in the GT3s. And Apex Rogue and Samba are looking to get a second win. Iris the Bulldog is looking for redemption from last week, even though his lowest position this season has been P3. But he's looking for consistency to still be in this championship fight. So this could be very, very tight indeed as all three of them make their way towards turn 1. Samba is finding even more time by the lap, but so is Iris the Bulldog and so is Apex Rogue. I'm absolutely loving this, and we only have 8 minutes left.
Also, more battles are going on because actually there has been a fight for 4th position between Connor and Milden, who didn't get enough coverage in the live stream, but actually they are fighting quite hard for the same position, which is the 4th. There has been a back and forth for the position, and now Connor has gained back the position just by in turn 10, and both of them are really wanting the same position a lot, and Milden into the inside of turn 4 into the Aston Martin, and I don't think they touched it because I didn't see it because the cameraman is okay, can you change the word? And Milden goes into the outside of turn 5, even if he was just slightly in front of the Aston Martin, and now Milden is in 4th position. And Connor needs to do the same way again, because in turn 10 he was in the same position, just behind Milden, and probably he will be able to put the car into the inside or the outside, I guess, this time, for the blue BMW.
Wow. There's more battles happening by the lap at the moment. If these guys keep battling, then we're going to have the likes of Jason in there as well. Pretty much all the top 6 have been battling for this whole race. That's how close it is. Now, Floppy Fox, we now have the reason on why Floppy Fox crashed. He put it in the chat. Floppy Fox's daughter is not feeling very well, so, which is a bit of a shame. Obviously, family does come first. So, Floppy Fox, hope your daughter gets better soon, and so sorry that you can't race anymore, but Floppy Fox may race in the second race, he may not, but it is a valid reason, of course. Sometimes life does get in the way, unfortunately. But here we go, Milden! Oh my word, this is quite incredible, actually, as he tries and defends from Connor, and also the GT4 as well, so that is quite tight to negotiate as well. They make a bit of contact, Connor and Milden there as well. They head towards turn 2. And I'm sure there's more battles happening. There's battles happening with Apex Rogue, Ives the Bulldog as well. But we got to keep an eye on these two as well. And Ben with a brilliant overtake. He's hoping for some more overtakes as well. But Connor looking good on JB this season. Obviously, he has been a regular to ACC in the past. And there's more battles happening, Christian?
No, I saw Connor actually braked a bit wider. He braked on the grass. And I think everyone that drives in Assetto Corsa knows what happens in that corner when you brake on the grass. He saved the car for sheer luck, because that was an astonishing save. He actually went into turn 5 drifting. So it's something if he's still alive. He probably won't slow down, because it's not enough of a reason for slow down if you just nearly kill yourself. You need more. So now there is a triple way battle, I guess, because there is Rogue the Bulldog and Samba in less than 2 seconds. There is a battle for 4th between Milden and Connor in less than 6 tenths. And there is probably a battle going on, well, will come, between the 43, between the 888 and the 91, because the gap went from 3.5 to 2 seconds in just 2 laps. So actually it's a 7 tenths a lap difference between the two. Milden and Connor for the overtake.
Oh my god, there's just action everywhere. Guys, please stop choking. You guys keep going with the battles, because this is insane. To be honest, guys, I've been having a very bad day today. I've been feeling absolutely awful. And these guys have been cheering me up no end, not gonna lie. So to be honest, I'm very glad I was asked to step in tonight. I had second thoughts of whether I was gonna fill in tonight because I had words I was going to say on stream, but I'm not going to because it is a family show. But yeah, these guys have definitely been making me so much better. So turn 6, and we got Mildred and Connor just absolutely fighting their heads off. Let's jump back to the front battle with the GT3s. There's not much happening in the GT4s at the moment. All we know is Carmentis is leading by 7 seconds to Philip. And then we got 1.3 now as the gap between Thomas and Philip. So sure, Christian will keep an eye on that gap as well as it continues. Iris the Bulldog has dropped from Apex Rogue there. So Apex Rogue has found a bit more pace. But Samba is looking to see if he could get second place. It will be good if he could keep it there. He's gained quite a few positions, so we'll see what he can do. So going down the front straight then, using all the slipstream as they can as they head towards turn number 1. As I think Samba has been looking very good on pace. 1:45.1 for the Porsche. It is Audi versus Bentley versus Porsche at the moment. But with these two keeping battling like this, is allowing Apex Rogue just to pull away ever so slightly with 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Oh no! Samba's gone wide! Samba's gone wide, turn 5. No, turn 4, sorry. In the gravel, he's lost way too much time, and that's given Iris the Bulldog a little bit of a sigh of relief there on the track. So I'm almost certain, unless Samba can increase the pace a little bit, that is second place for the taking for Iris the Bulldog. Oh no, just one small mistake for Samba. That's costed him loads. But at the moment, he's still going to get a podium. So, but that is a shame there. That is a shame.
The Triple Eight has now to defend because actually the 91 has got into the Porsche. And actually,
Here he comes.
Nice move I saw from Thomas because there was a GT3 passing and he just went immediately in the draft of the Lamborghini the second Jason passed him, so it was a bit of a cool move to see. Ooh, little oversteer from the BMW, but now Philip Bodala to do the same he had to do 20 minutes ago. Defend as hard as he can, but he has way less time now to lose because he has just 2 minutes, probably 2 laps in this one and the next one probably, perhaps. Let me guess. Maybe 2.
Ooh, battle! Oh my goodness, Philip Bourdal is being caught out a little bit by the GT4 and Thomas as well. So will that allow Thomas to go wide as well? I don't think he's meant to do that. He did a similar thing to what we saw Samba. Have we lost a driver, which I'm not sure who we've lost.
Floppy Fox is back and
hey, Floppy Fox is back. That's good news. So I do believe Floppy Fox could just put it in the chat if he's racing the second race, because otherwise he wouldn't be here. Or but he technically not allowed to leave unless you have a legitimate reason. But he has a legitimate reason. He has a legitimate reason, so technically he could have left. Here he comes!
Philip Bodal.
Turn number 1 they go then. This could be the crucial move that they need for Thomas Ferreira to get into the podium positions to get second place. Here he comes then to the right hand side. He goes off Philip Bourdal. 2 very, very fast drivers. Let's hope they don't make contact this time. The 888 versus the 91. Into turn 3 now, heading towards the corner where you've got to be very careful on the photo, as I was saying earlier. Thomas Vieira just about holds on to Philip Bourdal. So Thomas Vieira is up into second place at the moment. But I have to say that is quite incredible stuff. This could go all the way to the end. The timer has gone to 0. So very, very soon the leader will cross the line to win the race. Apex Rogue wins the race. This is the redemption that he needed after last week. And he'll probably definitely not be on the cold list after tonight. Iris the Bulldog in second. Samba, what a shame with that moment he had in third. Milden in fourth. And I think that's going to stay like this. Connor in fifth position. We've got Jason will finish in sit and fly sky in seventh. Car Mentalist. I'm just seeing how many corners he's got to go until he crosses the line to win in the GT4s again. But Will Philip fight back on Thomas then? That's what I like to know. I really do hope so, because these two have been definitely putting on a show as well.
There is already a second of difference.
Yeah, well, it is quite a second difference already, so I think that's why Thomas is showing that he's quite quick. But here we go, we're riding on board with Mentalist then for I don't know how many times this season, but he's on another level compared to these other GT4 drivers. He wins again for the first sprint race of the night. Who says you don't like sprint races? Mentalist, eh? Thomas comes across the line in P2 on his debut. Brilliant stuff from him. Philip Bourdal will get the round off the podium for GT4s. Arnoud will finish in 4th. And then we just will have Khalifa. Rageman actually having a really decent result as well. Having a nice battle with Eddie as well. Khalifa comes across the line to finish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. So it's Rageman or Eddie for 6th place. For Eddie, will this be a photo finish? Actually, this could be a photo finish. Oh my goodness. Who's crossed the line first? I think Rageman just crossed the line first with 1/10 difference. And then there's Badgerman, and why won't it let me get to timetables? There we go. So, your order then. Apex Rogue, Apex Rogue, then Iris the Bulldog, then Samba, Milden, Connor, Jason, Fly Sky, Floppy Fox, and then Corrado. And then your GT4s are as follows. Mentalist, have we got Thomas by 8 seconds. Then we got Philip Bourdal, Arnoud, Khalifa, Rageman, Eddie, Badgerman, and then it was the Yavin Giggle Mate who retired for the GT4s, which was a bit unfortunate. And there is your overall results as well. So if any of our results guys are watching in the chat, you can clip if you want to. I'll just put these again on the screen just in case. GT3, GT4. There we go. So that was our first sprint race of the evening. And just as you think the racing is over, do not worry. We've still got some more racing to go. We've got another 20-minute qualifying session and another half an hour race. And you know what? I am very, very excited. I'm just seeing Apex in the chat. He just can't believe that he's won. After all the bad luck he's having in the last few races, it's good that he finally redeemed himself to win that race. He converted the pole to a race win. His championship is back on, Christian.
Yes. As I said in the beginning, I didn't feel like it was a complete recall because it was just a 2 of races, but mostly 1 because it was just the Misano that went straight on into the bin, but mostly because of the car, as I said. This time he proved the other way around. The car is good around Barcelona and he is good as a driver. And he actually defended for 30 minutes straight. And not even that, but he actually defended and keeping tires. Because in the end, he actually managed to pull up a gap of 3 seconds. In the last lap, he just slowed down a bit. Because he managed to save enough tires for the end. So actually that means that he had an astonishing result in terms of pace keeping, which is good. And therefore now can work his way out for the lead of the championship, especially because Floppy Fox has had 0 in this race. GT4 had another car mentalist win, which is not a news, I guess, but I want to congratulate Thomas because actually he went from last to 3rd to mid of the pack after a spin to 2nd again. So actually now that he qualifies, I wonder if, well, not if, but how much. I'm a bit biased, I know, but I'm objective also, and I think he can get into the top spot of the leaderboard in GT4s in qualifying. I know him. He's not a qualifying boss, as Carmentalist is, but he has the speed. So probably it's him or Carmentalist. That's for GT4. For GT3, I'll be honest, another rogue pole. That's my prediction.
Another rogue pole. I'm going to make my prediction now as the GT4s make their way for the second qualifying session of the evening. GT4s, I'm going to have to give it to Car Mentalist again for the win, for pole position. But I think Thomas this time will be a close second, as you said, in qualifying. for GT3s, I think it'll be quite tight. I think Iris the Bulldog has got even more hunger than anyone to get pole in this sprint 2 qualifying. I mean, he didn't win, but Apex Rogue and Iris the Bulldog is probably one of the best battles I've ever seen in this season, and I hope those two are going to have something similar here today in the second one. But I just think Iris the Bulldog just has the fight in him, like the Bulldog, that he wants to carry on. So yeah, I think Iris the Bulldog will get pole, but if Apex Rogue gets pole, I will not be surprised either. So, but GT4s are now out on track, and luckily it's only the GT4s. No other GT3s is out there, so everyone is following the rules on that regard as well. This is the first time we actually get to see Thomas's 1 lap pace in qualifying then. Now, for some of the drivers who've had bad first races, they can put that all behind them, the differences aside, and forget that the first race even happened, and concentrate on this second race, because there's points up for grabs there too. So anything can happen.
That's a night race.
And it is a night race as well, so that's going to make things even more interesting. It is, I'm trying to find the time, we'll check the time in a minute as well, but I think it's around, let me just actually check now actually, 17 minutes and 30 seconds, 7:02, so it is a night race. Bring it on. So, let's go on board with Thomas then, for his first lap in the sprint qualifying 2, as I find the right camera. There we go. That's probably the much better camera. You can see the sun blinding your eyes there as it's lower down as well, so the drivers have got to pick their braking references very, very carefully. Let's hope that they remember their braking references as they head past turn 3 now and heading towards turn 4. A few people on their laps as well. You can see Thomas is already catching up to the car in front, so you see that he's on another level as well, and you can see on the dash as well how much he potentially could be gaining as well. So we'll see what he can do heading towards turn 6 as well. He's clipping that curve as well, trying to gain that extra speed heading towards turn 7, and with other GT4 cars on a lap, let's hope they don't get in each other's way as we head towards turn 10 now as well. Oh my god, someone's taken something out at the moment as one GT4 moves out the way of Thomas, luckily, so I believe that GT4 was on a outlap heading towards turn 10. Again, the sun blinding in your eyes as well. I wouldn't want to be racing like that as well. So again, practicing your braking references heading towards turn 12, and then you're going to be braking just a little bit towards this chicane, clipping that apex as well. You'll be using that apex to this full effect heading towards the final corner. We'll see. I think it's going to be the first lap time on the board for our GT4s. Thomas up to the line, and what's it going to be for him? A 1:54.636, and at the moment that puts him in P1.
Actually, he lost the car in the chicane, so he actually did. I think he lost about half a second.
He did.
Because the first part of the chicane was basically 90 degrees towards the right line, so not really the fastest time. But I think that also car mentalist could try to run into some tactic, because he's just behind him. He's absolutely behind him. Probably he didn't set a lap because I think he went out of track. But probably car mentalist is already playing chess, high speed chess. And in fact, the 91 let him pass. So now it's a chess play. Now Thomas Vieri is behind car mentalist because car mentalist was following him. So now he's high speed chess for real.
Yeah, that is quite insane, not gonna lie, with the amount of traffic that's happening at the moment. Arnaud slots himself into P2, 6 tenths behind Arnaud. Now, I'm actually looking to see in the chat to see if there was anyone that said their views about the race. Not many did, but I see that as a good thing because all their focus already quickly turns onto the second race. They're forgetting that the first race has even happened for some of them as well. That's why they're not chatting, but to be fair, that's what I would do as well. So I'm just trying to see who's about to cross the line. We've got the number 43. That is Carmentalist, who won the first race, looking to add another win to his tally. And if he does, he'll be one step closer to be winning that GT4 title. So, Carmentalist up to the line. And if the timings can update for me, please, that will be lovely. Or is he just about to start a lap? I don't know. I think
he didn't set another lap. Carmentalist is the second way around that he didn't set a lap.
Right, so he probably exceeded track limit somewhere then. So yeah, that he'll go out again, but he'll have less fuel, so it doesn't matter. You're having a giggle, mate. He's on the lap as well. Hopefully he remembers to come into the pits with 10 minutes to go as well. So hopefully he remembers that this time. Here he comes then, heading towards turn 12 and 13. And we'll see if he loses it in the chicane as well, because that's where obviously Thomas lost it as well. But Thomas is still pole position. So people are finding it even more tricky in the colder conditions. So this could be quite a different race compared to the first race. That's why we could see a different winner. So you're having a giggle. I don't think it's set a valid lap this time, unless the timings update quickly. No, he hasn't set a valid lap, so he's going again. Carmentalist has got some traffic as well with the other car behind him. That is Thomas as well. They seem to be following each other quite a lot, don't they? I mean, Thomas is trying to learn from the best of the best at the moment. So if Thomas and Carmentalist qualify quite close to each other, this could be quite an interesting battle on our hands for the second sprint race. I'm almost certain Thomas wants to get out of Carmentalist's way right now, but he's going to try and get a bit of a toe. Dirty air is not much of a thing compared to the F1 cars. So Carmentalist up to the line. He hasn't got long to set a lap, so he's need to set a lap now. Only P4 for Carmentalist at the moment. Thomas still stays pole with a 1:54.5. I'm not used to him not being in pole position. He hasn't got that long at all to set a good lap. So where do you think he lost the time there?
I think Thomas is actually doing a Mark Marquez in MotoGP. Basically, Mark Marquez has this habit of putting himself in behind of past drivers and kind of distracting them. And I think this works out because Thomas actually gained a tenth on his lap, and Carmentalist is fourth. So perhaps Arnaud into the pits. So Arnaud is sticking to the second position, and Thomas was also flashing his lights. So he's absolutely playing the completely tactical and trying to disturb Carmentalist, which is not really a fan of this move, but that's me actually. There is no rule that says you can't. There is the rule that says you can't impede another driver, not that you can't follow him closely as it was a race and try to attack him as it was the last lap of the race. So it works. It is surely working. Also, Thomas Berry is going on an overtake on Carmentalist.
Oh my goodness! Oh.
Is that legal?
Is this legal? I don't know. So Carmentalist will be starting fourth. I don't think Carmentalist will be happy. Is this tactics or not? A few people in the chat thinking that it is tactics. Dexter, Floppy Fox as well. It'd be interesting to see what the stewards think.
So back into fourth position for Thomas Vieira.
For Carmentalist, you mean? Carmentalist is fourth.
Yeah. Okay, my brain is
don't worry, we're on our second qualifying session. You got your excuse. So Thomas Vieira's last lap did not improve, but he still got pole anyway, so it doesn't matter. Eddie
in second though.
In second. What a lap from him. I need to actually check what his lap was. It was a 1:55.035. So that is pretty decent. Khalifa up to the line. He's going to be the last of the GT4s. I don't think he improved.
No, he didn't.
So we just got... You having a giggle, mate? What a name. What a name. Still love that name, by the way. And Badgerman to set their final laps. And then all that's left is for the GT3s to go racing one final time. And apparently that was not legal. So yes, I'm almost certain that the stewards, I can confirm the stewards will be looking into that tactic that Thomas was putting. So but I think they will, even if Car Mentors does not report it. I'm not entirely sure. Dexter can clarify on this. But we've got Badgerman up to the line, the last of the GT4s, to set a lap. He needs to find quite a bit of time. He finds 2 seconds, actually, to beat You Having a Giggle Mate. But can You Having a Giggle Mate beat Badgerman? At the moment, no, he does not. So he stays in 9th. So all that's left is for the GT3s to start their laps then. Samba being the first one to start his lap time. Then number 97, who finished 3rd in the last race as well. And then we've got the number 12 of Apex Rogue, who is starting. Then we've got the 111 of ERT Milden. And then we got the 33 of Iris the Bulldog as well. My tip for pole. Who do you think is going to get pole position? We've got Chromodix that thinks Rogue. I think Iris the Bulldog. Who do you think will get pole? Let us know in chat, and I'll be interested to know your opinions. Floppy Fox is just about to start. It's great to have Floppy Fox back. He's having some tough times at the moment with his daughter, but apparently it is nothing too serious, so he is keeping going. But he's lost a lot of points in the championship now because he retired from the race. But health, family health, and his health does come first. So, but I'm glad he's back, and I think his mental state now is going to be quite tough for him. But I think his main goal tonight will be to just finish.
Okay, does it talk again? Okay.
Yeah, you were muted for a minute there.
No, sorry, but no, my headphones didn't work for some reason,
no.
so I had to switch them off. Okay, sorry, I literally didn't hear the question. What was it?
I will repeat it again. But Floppy Fox, with the mental state he's been in at the moment with his family and stuff, I think his main goal will be to just finish tonight as high as he can. He doesn't need to worry about the win. Just finish, and you'll still get some decent points.
Yeah, well, probably. Ooh, Rocket and Terry with 45. Floppy Fox is probably. I'm not. I don't like talking about this type of thing because it's very personal.
Yeah, I think we should leave. I think we should leave that then. If. But anyway, Milden is on pole position at the moment in the GT3s. Apex Rogue in P2, whereas Iris, my tip for pole position, number 33. He's coming up towards turn 4 now. He hasn't set a lap yet, so he needs to get a move on. Samba as well. Connor P2. I was not expecting that. He's just beaten Apex Rogue by just a few 100ths of a second. Floppy Fox, he's going towards turn 4 as well. Anyone else further on a lap? Samba heading towards turn 10. I think this qualifying is probably going to be closer than the first qualifying for the GT3s. I think this is... A lot of the GT3 drivers love this track. And I know lots of people like, say, Austria, but I think... I absolutely hate Barcelona in F1, but in GT3s and GT4s in ACC, it's an absolute godsend. So Samba heading towards the chicane now. Final corner he goes. He's got to get a pole. He's got to get a pole. He was so close to pole last time. What could he do this time? P1, the 1:44.7, 8 tenths quicker than Milden. That is what he wanted. Iris the Bulldog says if anything you could do, he could do better. Iris the Bulldog then, only P3. Milden, 6 thousandths quicker than Samba. 1:44.739. Floppy Fox, he's heading towards the final corner, and I think is going to be even closer as well, because his lap was looking very, very good as well. So Floppy Fox up to the line. He hasn't set a lap, so he will have to set another lap. But Milden, Samba and Iris the Bulldog, very, very close. I was expecting Samba and Iris the Bulldog to be close together, but Milden and Samba, I think Milden has definitely forgotten what happened in the last race, and he's recharged his batteries and focusing on the next race, and it's definitely helping him. Milden feels like this season hasn't gone well for him. Maybe this could be the race where he gets turned around. Usually performs quite well in night races, so maybe the cooler conditions suits him much better than obviously the warmer conditions. This lap was brilliant for Milden.
I actually think it's the revenge of the underdog here, because the M6 and the Aston Martin little clariment, the Aston Martin on PlayStation, not on PC. The Aston Martin and the M6 are, quite frankly, not the best cars, if not the worst, on the grid package. Not considering the not recent updates, so the Bentley first edition, Audi first edition, etc, etc. So having Connor in 5th now, because the Rogue has put, where is the Bulldog? 44.3, just in front of me. Then he was saying that he was doing a great qualifying with a 44, with a high 44. Then there is Samba, Rogue and Connor with the Aston Martin. So actually it was until then the revenge of the underdog. Now probably Samba and Rogue are going to get up to speed. 44 low is a very, very nice lap.
That is good.
Usually a good lap is already around 44.7, 6. So doing a free, I'll be honest, it is a lap. And if someone's beat it, they can claim that they reached the Mount Everest, because 44.3 is actually a lot good. I'll be honest.
It is. I think it's obviously faster than obviously what we saw in the first session, but it is cooler conditions, so but people are probably more suited to that as well. So times are chopping and changing at the moment in the GT3s, and they only have 1 minute and 26 seconds to get their laps in. So here we go then. Samba, the number 97, he's going to try and set another lap. We've got the number, I can't even read it because they're so close to each other. I think we've got Apex Road directly behind as well, if my livery's knowledge is correct. Yes, it is Apex Road, the number 12. So Samba up to the line. He was 3 tenths
I think
slower.
everyone here is playing tactic.
Again, I don't think you're allowed to do that tactic.
No, I mean the fact that basically Samba is ahead, Rogue is following, and I don't know if he let him pass or Rogue made a mistake, because Rogue went, okay, Floppy Fox, do whatever you want. 44.2 for me.
What?
Okay.
144.2 for the man who has had some troubles recently, but he's forgetting his troubles and he's in P1. John's gonna like that, because you know how John likes his Ferrari around one of his favourite tracks, Barcelona. So there we go. Floppy Fox is doing quite a remarkable job at the moment. 10 seconds left. If you're on laps, you're allowed to finish it.
I think Connor wants. Connor's
pitted. Yeah, Connor has gone into the pits.
Connor's tied with Rogue.
Connor is tied with Apex Rogue. So Apex Rogue is not going to get pole position as he goes into the pits now. We've got, I think, who's going to be the first to cross the line. Number 97, that is Samba. Right now, as he heads, there is a yellow flag with the 111, so he is stopped on track. That is Milden. But 97 has got a few more corners to go. We've got the number 33 of Iris the Bulldog as well. He's 1/10 slower than Floppy Fox. Samba and Iris the Bulldog and Fly Sky, the only people that could stop Floppy Fox from pole position. Samba up to the line, 4th position. Iris the Bulldog, pole position, 1:44.1. Exactly. Can Fly Sky pull off all miracles to get pole? Nope, he does not. But Iris the Bulldog, what a lap. Almost in the 1:33s. That is just insane. That is just insane from Iris the Bulldog. So, in the first session, Apex Road got pole. In the second session, Iris the Bulldog got pole. But Floppy Fox, 1/10 slower. So, it's quite close. We've got Milden, then we've got Samba, Apex Road, Connor, Fly Sky. Then we got Jason in 8th position. And then in the GT4s, it's Thomas Vieira on pole. Eddie in P2. Arnold in P3. Carmentis P4. Philip P5. Khalifa P6. Rageman P7. Badgeman P8. And you're having a giggle mate in P9. So, we're about to get racing once again. Probably, Christian, is going to be another unpredictable race. So make sure you all stay tuned for the Spanish Grand Prix round number 6 for ACC. Well, technically, it's round 8 because we've had 2 sprint races in Zandvoort. And we're on to our second sprint race in Spain as well. We've got 2 more races after this one. We've got obviously, let me get the calendar up actually at the moment. So let me just change transitions. Yep, I have changed transitions. That is good. So we have got Alton Park next week on the 15th of March. And then the season finale will be at Paul Ricard in France. Looking forward to that one. 2-hour endurance race. Or it's either 90 minutes or 2 hours. I can't remember. But should be a lot of fun. And a quick reminder of our sponsors as well. Of course, we've got the SimGrid, who is powering the league this season. Next Level Racing, who are providing our prizes this season for F1. More information about that will be on Friday. 3M Sim Racing, providing a pair of sim racing gloves. Vespertine, who provide our merchandise and support our prizes. Mental Health Foundation, it is good to talk. If you're feeling down at the moment, the Mental Health Foundation can help you with that. And ERT are sponsoring our trophies. And of course, you can follow us over on Twitch, twitch.tv/OneHubRacing. And you can follow us on YouTube as well, youtube.com/OneHubRacing. Twitter @OneHubRacing. Instagram @OneHubRacing. And you can also follow us on Discord. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm not on the graphic because I wasn't meant to be commentating tonight, but I'm at JessGames95. And you can also add Chromadix on Instagram if you want to. His Instagram is on the graphic there as well. So the drivers are about to get ready for the race. Have your predictions changed since qualifying, Christian? Do you think Apex Rogue is going to get another win?
As always, I say qualifying means little to nothing in a race. Because qualifying is a completely it's basically a race on itself. It's Barcelona, so you can overtake pretty much whenever you want. You just have to take some risks more. He is in 5th. That means third row into the inside. That means he can do if he manages to do well, he can overtake Samba quite easily into the inside. And if Milden overtakes Troppy Fox, so it's a bit of a chain reaction. The problem is that he has 4 cars in front. Qualifying doesn't mean a lot, but it's 30-minute race. It's not an endurance race where even if you place yourself up with 39, it's like, oh well, it's 30 minutes. More or less, I think it is. I don't remember how many laps were there before, but I think around 20. If my memory doesn't betray me. So we saw Rogue Space. Iris the Bulldog was not quite, but slightly faster. Floppy Fox seems to be faster on cold condition. Probably Rogue could be happy if he can get a 3rd or 2nd position. First becomes very, very, very tricky to get. As in GT4, Eddie has put something out of the hat. Unfortunately, I saw that he doesn't have a very good race pace, so if he has some, he has to use it all in this race because getting P2 in the championship will mean a lot for him. Arnaud is currently starting on the outside, so probably he can overtake Eddie even because the BMW has a slightly lower acceleration compared to the Porsche. And car mentalist is probably a bit angry about the orange BMW before. I don't think he completely ruined this qualifying because the lap was probably around there, but even if he wasn't improving, it was a bit of a not fancy move from the Portuguese driver. So probably car mentalist is a bit poisoned by this, and he will get everything to get into the 91's place and do a coup d'etat into the first place in GT4. That's I think the double eight. So Corrado will not participate into race 2 for whatever reason. Okay, and Milden, well, he's the underdog of the group, not because of his skills, but because of the car. You can be the best in the world, but he has a M6. It's not exactly the best car on the grid. So if he can manage to get a podium, I think it's enough of a gold prize for him. As always, Barcelona, double grid. Let's see how it goes, because race 1 was clearly one hell of a race.
It was. I think hopefully you guys in the chat enjoyed it as well, as much as we did. As all the drivers are very keen to get going. Look at this. So Irish the Bulldog will be controlling the field then for the second race of the night. Oh, as Floppy Fox has overtaken Iris the Bulldog. I don't think that was meant to happen, but hopefully won't get penalised for that. They're in formation at the moment. They're about to cross the line to start the second sprint race. And we are green then. And look who has had a decent start. Look at Samba, who is running away with it at this moment in time. He is now your race leader as they head towards turn 1. Just look at that, he was in 4th place and now he's running towards turn 1 in the lead. I don't know what everyone else was doing. They were caught napping, but Iris the Bulldog trying to fight it back. We got Floppy Fox trying to get past Milden as well. Into this also a little bit of a fight here as well, but let's just watch the GT3s for the time being as Iris the Bulldog could get the move on to turn 4. Not as close as last time though, but Samba, I was not expecting Samba to pull off a start like that. Probably one of the best starts I've seen this season by any driver. Fact, as Milden trying to fend off Floppy Fox, I think Milden could get P3 unless Floppy Fox has anything to say on the matter. Floppy Fox could get 2 positions here as well, but he does not. Oh my goodness, this could get very, very tense between these two. Floppy Fox does get Milden up into P3. Let's watch the GT4s then. As a commenter is up into second.
Of grass into the chicane, and Arnaud is gonna get just behind him, and Khalifa is in the right spot in the right place because Khalifa gets both of the Porsche drivers and now he's in 3rd position. No, yes, he's in 3rd position. Philippe Boutali is side by side with Arnaud. So now it's a double side by side towards turn 10 and probably 3 wide. It's gonna be it's a 3 wide because Rageman destroyed the field.
Huge contact. Car mentalist has spun. Thomas, I think, is having a battle with Eddie.
Oh, now this off.
Loads of people went off. Car mentalist and Arnold had a bit of a moment. The top 2 in the championship as well. Arnold just clipping the
glass. Is off even now because he was in turn 12 and he got spun around. The situation is that effectively the green Audi completely annihilated the grid, unfortunately, and the only survivors were Eddie and Thomas Vieira. And there is an overtake for 4th position with Milden into the Audi.
I was a Bulldog is your race leader, I think.
There are so many things going on.
There's just so much going on. There was so much happening on the GT4s, GT3s. That is multi-class racing for you folks.
Yeah, Samba is P3 now.
Samba has dropped to 3rd, Floppy Fox into 2nd place. So whatever happened to Samba, I don't know. There was so much happening in the GT4s, we just could not miss that, unfortunately. But
Thomas Vera for the lead of the GT4 into the inside of Eddie.
Here comes Thomas then to the right-hand side. I'll let you carry on.
Yes, he does. He goes into the turn 4 with the whole car ahead, I think. And Eddie gives up the not really on purpose. Actually, he tries to defend his own inside, and he goes well. Actually, Eddie doesn't want to give up the first position, and now Eddie's still in front of Thomas Vieira, who I think he let Carpenters pass just before the start of the race, because he slowed quite a bit before the start, and probably it was a bit of a fair move considering how qualifying went. And now Thomas Vieira, I want to see multiple people at the same time, but I can't. Thomas Vieira into the huge move from Thomas Vieira going into the outside, and he defending the middle of the track, and Thomas Vieira changing direction into the inside of Eddie. That was a majestic move from him.
That was pretty much incredible for Thomas. So Thomas is now your race leader in the GT4, but Eddie just got to fight back now at the moment. His helmet is getting a bit of sweat at the moment as they head towards the final corner. It is currently 8:10 in the game at the moment. So an hour behind, obviously, our current time of 9:10 at the moment. Well, 9:12 at the moment, to be fair. As Eddie and Thomas being slightly way faster, 5/10 faster in that lap as well. So, there's some battles going on in more of the GT4 then. So, Badgerman having a much better race than the first one so far. Turn 1, and as I need to go change cameras as Badgerman's gone off. He's cut the corner. Not ideal for him as Rageman. Is that Rageman? Yeah, that is Rageman that's got past him. So, Badgerman was running in a good position, but he's just gone off a little bit there. But he's got Philip Bourdal for company at the moment, going side by side. Making a bit of contact, but not much harm done at the moment. Badgerman got a podium last week, hasn't able to capitalise on it since, but he could get another one here today. He's in 4th at the moment and could get 3rd. We've got Khalifa as well, Carmentis. Both Khalifa and Carmentis are very quick drivers. Quite a few people are out of position as well. So that could be some other close battles between the GT4s, I have to say. So we will see what they can do. Rageman in 2nd place, but I wonder if Rageman was the one who caused all the trouble earlier.
Yeah, he wasn't.
So I think obviously he will be investigated by the stewards.
Philip Bourdal into the inside. I was waiting for you to go on, actually.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Philip Bourdal trying to defend off Badgerman quite nicely. I have to say there's some clean racing for the two of them as well. And I think Carl Mentelis is getting a bit frustrated that he can't get past right now. He's used to dominating, obviously, races, but sprint races, sometimes one sprint race goes your way and then the second race it just goes completely chaotic. And that is what is happening at the moment. But obviously, this time it was out of his control. So we've got Khalifa then, trying to get past his ERT compatriot into turn 1. Can he hold on to the right-hand side line then? Or can Badgerman defend for his life then? Khalifa, I think, gets the move done, but Badgerman going to get the switch back then into turn 2. They made contact just a little bit. Free abreast. Carmentelis is joining the party as well. He's got to get back in this fight in order to claim back some crucial points. But Carmentelis could get Badgerman on the right-hand side then. He could go the long way round into turn 4. Carmentelis gets him. Carmentelis gets him then, but for how much longer? Badgerman is fighting back.
Philip Bourdal into the inside of Rageman also.
Yeah, Philip Bourdal gets past Rageman, so Rageman up in, Philip Bourdal, sorry, up into P2. And Eddie is just oblivious at the moment to what is happening. Eddie, who's pretty much was nowhere in the last race, he's leading this race.
Oh, the 44 is off track. And Khalifa, I think he touched probably someone and didn't. Probably Badgerman just slightly. And Khalifa lost 2 positions, both from Badgerman and Carmentelis.
Oh no, quite a bit of contact was made there, unfortunately, but that was nothing that can be done at the moment.
Oh, the 99, Fresca into corner, into turn 1. The inside, which becomes the outside, which becomes behind the corner actually, because Fresca couldn't put the overtake on an effective result, but now FlySky is just behind him, probably gonna try to outbreak the Aston Martin into turn 4, which is a bit difficult because there is just quite a bit of space. Connor drift the car, which is not the ideal line, in my opinion.
He was so squirmy there, Jesus, but he managed to keep the car together. To be fair, I love the McLaren on this game, so FlySky, I think the only McLaren on the grid today, doing us proud. Khalifa has dropped by off Badgerman, but could Khalifa fight back? 1 minute there was one battle, next minute there's another battle. We're literally not short of battles at the moment. We're struggling to catch our breath at the moment.
Badgerman completely outbreaks himself.
He does the same thing as he did last lap, I believe. But I don't think they make contact this time, they don't. So they've learned their lessons from last time, luckily. So Khalifa does get Badgerman up into 1, 2, 3, 4, P5 in the GT4s. We haven't talked about much on Floppy Fox and Iris the Bulldog because they pretty much battling for the lead, but not much is happening at the moment. Floppy Fox is playing the waiting game, just waiting for the moment for Iris the Bulldog to pounce or make a mistake, and then Floppy Fox could go for the move. But usually the Ferraris are quite much faster than the Bentleys around here, so Floppy Fox is expected to be quicker than Iris the Bulldog, but we will have to wait and see. Samba is 2 seconds behind, so not the race he would have wanted, but still it would be a podium if he could keep this up. But we have got, I think, a battle happening behind between Rageman, Khalifa and Badgerman again. So I think Rageman's made a little bit of a mistake. I think this could get very, very intense, but Rageman, he's doing a good job at the moment. There may be a penalty looming, but he's got to focus on now, really, and not what happened in the past. But he's in 5th place. Is way above his best result in the league so far. But he's got, obviously, Khalifa that's faster. Badgerman, who's had better results than him as well. And then, of course, we've got Arnold, who's out of position. Yaron and Gigglemate is in last position. So, this has been very unpredictable so far from both classes, and I absolutely love it, Christian.
I'll be honest, unfortunately in GT4 wins like this because the green Audi, I'm not obviously I'm not into the judgment room, but it was a bit clear that the Audi outbraked himself and went into a side-by-side double pack and kind of shuffled the cars. So the way it went is not exactly the way I wanted it to go, but it's better for the show, I guess. It puts more overtakes. Arnaud is slowly trying to get more and more time back, but it will be very, very hard for him considering he was spinning around in turn 12. And now there is a battle between Khalifa and Rageman for the actual 5th position in class, because in GT3 is actually everything is pretty much static. I think everyone wants to get on the finish good instead of before. Before it was more of a sprint race in the first 32 seconds, and most of people have burned the tires completely. In GT4 they are still with the same mentality. Khalifa into the side of the green Audi, trying to launch the car, somehow not hitting it. So somehow, because it was very close by both of them, and now even Badgerman wants to get into the fight for the 5th position, and probably Khalifa will get him just on the straight, because apparently the Porsche has 20,000 horsepower more just on the straight, because the same overtake from Khalifa has been made by every single Porsche around here, except Philippe Baudal, who now needs to defend for Carmenteris, who has gained a lot of time since the event that shuffled the deck. And now Carmenteris is trying to get into P3, into Philippe Baudal, and then there is Eddie and Thomas Vieira with a 6 seconds gap, alone in the, I would say in the west, but I don't know where the west is in this track, so I will just say alone in the sunset, I guess. It's alright.
Alone into the sunset, that is a good saying, you said that right.
And Khalifa into the inside of Rageman, who goes by Wilds. He goes into the west. He goes by Wilds, and now he has to defend towards the Badgerman's Aston Martin, but he's too late because he was already too far into the left, and could defend into the Aston Martin, who's now getting to the inside of the green Audi in turn 4, but the Rageman doesn't want to surrender, and instead he does. And Benjamin gets into, I guess, just now ahead of Rageman, who lost 2 positions in the same corner. And now the order is Thomas Vieira, Eddie Bodal, Carmentelis, Khalifa, Rageman, Benjamin, and Arnaud, and Jürgen Gegelmit in last place in GT4.
Quite a few people have been out of position though, and they've been finding it quite difficult to fight back as well. Imagine what they would have done if they weren't out of position. I'm sorry, I can hear someone's tablet in the background, so I'm going to shut my door. But there is, I think, Badgerman trying to close in on Khalifa.
I'm more concerned about the battle for third because Carmentalis has destroyed the gap he had from the Porsche in front. Oof! Willy Bodal just saves the car because he was spinning. He was nearly spinning into the chicane, and Carmentalis has a way better he has a way better exit. Also because he's in the slipstream, and also because his car is less damaged, perhaps. I guess I've not anything that in mind. And Carmentalis goes into the inside of Philippe Bodal in turn 1, which will become the outside. Maybe not soon enough, because actually Philippe Bodal gets behind Carmentalis even before turn 2 starts to happen. So now the order is with Carmentalis on the podium in 4th position, just more than 7 seconds behind the BMW driver. The BMW driver.
Yes, well, I have to say, Carmentalis is back in this race, even though he was hoping for a win. But
Floppy goes into the outside, I guess it is. Yes, it's the outside into. It is the Bulldog who tries to defend the inside and goes a bit wide. But Floppy Fox catches the idea of the Bentley driver. Tries the switchback move.
Oh my
goodness!
Just
a bit of flag. It was just a bit of flag. Nothing to worry about.
Netcode.
And yeah, it lagged even for me. So nothing really happened. Thanks Assetto Corsa server for ruin our arse again. Our way to the race, and now it's a free weight battle because apparently it's the Bulldog Floppy Fox battle way too hard, and now the Porsche driver is just behind them.
Bring it on, and we saw like this in the last race, didn't we, Christian? With the top 2 just fighting. Oh, drive through for Connor. Track limits now. It's not like in Formula 1. If you get too many track limit warnings, you get a penalty. If you get too many track limits on ACC, and if it's serious enough, you do get a drive through. That is quite. It's one of the less serious penalties. The more serious penalties is a 30-second stop go. So Connor, he's gonna have to go to the pits now, which is a shame because he was having a nice battle with Fly Sky, and he has to come in within 3 laps, isn't it, Christian? I think it is. So. Yep. And Samba, out of all of this, he's got GT4s to contend with, and he's trying to fight for the lead of this race with Floppy Fox and Iris the Bulldog. This is a replica of what we saw in the last race with Samba in P3.
Goes into the inside.
Samba's in the middle.
Again. Samba is in the middle, into the inside actually. Little touch between the 2 drivers, and Samba gets into the P2 for some reason still unknown to the universe. And now Samba puts himself into P2, just meters behind the Bentley driver.
Wow!
In the middle of the pack.
Samba, what a move! What a move! He's been making brilliant moves this race so far. That start, but I think he's fighting back because obviously he was in the lead of this race at one point, and he's very keen to get past Iris the Bulldog now. And I think Samba's now starting to have a belief that he can get the move done. So we'll ride on board. I think let's go on board with Floppy Fox, because I think we could see the battles a bit more if we can for that. So we'll see. It is getting quite dark as well, with the clouds coming down as well. The clouds are quite dark actually, but I don't think it's going to be raining. Samba has gone a bit very deep as well, lay on the brakes, and he got past Iris the Bulldog on a move that he can't possibly do necessarily, and he did that. And here we go, Floppy Fox to the inside as well, into the chicane as well. This is all turning on its head right now. Oh no! Floppy Fox has made contact with Philip Bourdais, I believe. Oh my goodness, it has turned on its head. Oh no. This has gone from good to worse for Floppy Fox, which is a bit of a shame. But Samba is now your race leader. ACC Bulldog in second. I was definitely not expecting that to happen, but it just goes to show that you've got to be aware with the GT4s around you, and same with the GT4s, you've got to be aware with the GT3s, but that's kind of ruined Philippe Bourdal's race, and that means that Carl Mentelis is up into P2.
And now Philippe Bourdal has made a beautiful overtake on Khalifa, actually. Khalifa tried to defend the outside, but apparently Philippe Bourdal had more speed into turn 2 into the outside himself. So it was a battle of who had more outside, I guess. And Philippe Bourdal just lost a position, but I think Fluffy Fox completely removed the brake marker in his head and went straight into the Porsche, which was a bit of... Oh, Philippe Bourdal has been taken out again by the McLaren. Oh! Big crash, disastrous crash for 3 of them, because the Aston Martin and the 2 Porsches off.
What was it, Khalifa?
Yep.
There's just so much chaos happening at the moment with the GT4s.
And the 22 is off again. Regiment is off again. He's completely off.
I think he's retired.
Yep.
He's given up, unfortunately, but he has to stay in the lobby though. Otherwise, you will get penalised for that. But yeah, I thought the first race was crazy enough, but so much more has happened in the second race. But I think the drivers seem to be more involved in incidents compared to the first race. So I'm guessing that I wouldn't want to be in the steward's position right now, because the steward's office is going to be very, very busy. So best of luck to the stewards, not gonna lie. But we got Iris the Bulldog, who is closing in on Samba ever so slightly. Can he close in enough with 10 minutes to go? We'll see. Floppy Fox in third. Apex Rogue in fourth. Who was is he? Wait, I'm just trying to see if he was... Yeah, he was lapping Eddie. Okay, so he's lapping Eddie. So Thomas is leading this race in the GT4s. Eddie in P2. Carl Mentelis in P3. Yeah, Dexter's not liking the fact that about these incidents at the moment, but there we go. A bit unfortunate, but there we go.
Philippe is off. Philippe Bourdal is off track again, and I think he's struggling. Going to retire the car.
Yeah, he's going to retire, I think. His car is pretty much damaged, and with the amount of repairs he's got, I think it's going to take the entire 10 minutes. Yeah, he's out of the race. So, what a shame that. But you just got to keep it steady. I think most of these drivers will probably be relieved. The ones who've had bad races, they'll probably be relieved when this race is over, because they'll be back to the normal endurance races next week, the hour-long race when we head to Alton Park in Britain next week. But
yeah, Philippe Bourdal had a bit of a target on himself, because he got taken out by Rageman, he got taken out by Floppy Fox, he got taken out again.
He got taken out by quite a lot of people, though, to be fair.
So I understand him. Probably he given up more than retired, and that's it. Because honestly, it was probably his car was to be taken and thrown into the distance as far as possible for the.
Oh, Rageman is trying to get lapped by Samba. He's got to be careful, Rageman, because he's caused far too many incidents today, and I think obviously he's used to being in F1, and sometimes you're used to just throwing the car and just sending it on the inside quite a lot, but you can't necessarily do that in GT3s all the time. So, or in Rageman's case, the GT4s, and but we will see. 8 minutes to go. Let's see. Fly Sky and Jason are just hanging in there as well. So is Connor. And Jason is having a very good battle. Well, actually, he's been lapped. Well, he was lapping someone. Okay, I thought he was having a good battle for the time being as well. Let's see. I think the race is quieting down ever so slightly at the moment, which I think for us it's a good thing because it kind of catches our breath, but I don't know. I think we've had less incidents in the first race, but in the second race it seems to be incidents galore. I wonder why that's happened, Christian.
Probably all the incidents that had to occur in the last rounds all happened in the same single race, and it's okay. Enjoy everything. So this was just a series of casual incidents in the same moment, because in GT4 has been basically a war, considering that first the free wide, then some other touches and taps, and GT4 actually messed the GT3 standings more on a passive way than on an active. Like in GT4 there has been an accident into the made by the GT4s. In GT3 everything has been shuffled because of one mistake made by one GT3 into one GT4. That's multi-class racing. Actually sometimes it's not slowest driver's fault, it's also fastest driver's fault, and in this case Floppy Fox probably was a bit too excited probably into trying to get into the second position, because he was into the inside with a Porsche in front. He said, okay, I can close the gap, I can close the battle. He just closed his way into second position though. So honestly a lot of not nervousness, but mostly they had it too much to close everything, because it's a short race. Obviously short race means that you don't have all the time in the world. Every single moment counts. You have about 16 laps, I guess. 18 laps is probably going to be. So having the chance on one lap to get into the first or second position, it's great. You pump yourself up, you say, okay, I can do it, and then you see that the car in front of you has 150 horsepower less than you and no aerodynamic at all, and you understand it too late when you are already into the back of him. Still a podium position for him, with Rogue just behind. Rogue, considering that he finished first, it's a bit of a downgrade for him. Then there is Milden, Fly Sky, who, well, made Philip Bodal quit. Jason, Connor with a drive-through. Well, I expected more drive-through, considering that Catalonia has some weird track limits, especially into the chicane, that if you put 1 millimeter into the inside, you instantly get a drive-through and you can't reject it, because, well, it applies instantly the moment you go out. And also turn 10. Then in GT4 we have Thomas Vieira, Eddie with AP2. That is probably not going to be hurted by Carmente. He's still 3 seconds behind, but he has 4 minutes left to go. So unless he pulls up 1 second a lap, 1 second a minute actually, so probably 2 seconds a lap. It's a bit difficult, but well, Eddie can still do a mistake. So you never know. Then there is Khalifa, who survived everything. Arnaud, that just overtook Badgerman, just some laps ago, and is now into the fight for the 4th position, maintained by Khalifa. He's currently 2 seconds behind, gaining some time as the time passes, even because he got spun around in turn 12, and trying to get into the track, he spun around another time. So actually he lost about 15 seconds from that moment. Doing some rough calculation, it will even be ahead of Car Mentalist if nothing happened in that moment. But races are not decided on a chess. You have to fight for having the places, and unfortunately sometimes it just goes everything against you, and that's one of those times for some drivers. But altogether I think that probably for a second he didn't surrender at all. He managed to gain a second, and it is the Bulldog lost. I think it's the Bulldog lost a second. a second because he was 2.5 and now he's 3.3, and Floppy was respectively 2.5 and now it's 1.7. So probably is able to made a mistake somewhere in first sector. I suspect in turn 4, and the tires are such. Well, not him, but it's the same thing that happened in race 1. In the last minutes, he doesn't have the same speed. In fact, Fabio Fox just managed to get another 3 times into the Bentley of the Greek driver. With it is the Bulldog losing again some time from Samba, so probably the battle for P2 is not over yet. With 2 laps to go, it's going to be, yes, 2 laps to go, and last sprint towards the end.
We are seeing as well with the GT3s, Samba's being almost pretty much a second quicker than Iris the Bulldog, so maybe Iris the Bulldog is more suited to the warmer conditions compared to obviously the cooler conditions, so that's probably why also he struggled in the wet last week, where I can't remember where we were last week. Mazzano, that was it. Mazzano last week in the wet. Quite interesting. Don't forget the weather is set to random, so we could have rain towards the end of the season. You never know. Dexter, Milden, if you're watching this, well, if Milden's watching this back, can we have some rain again at some point during the season? That would be lovely. I know you can't manufacture rain because the rest of the season is random, but there we go. So Iris the Bulldog is losing a bit of time to Samba, so I think it could be quite a miracle for him to get into P1, but you never know. Samba could make a mistake. I think the closest battle we could see at the moment is between Connor and Jason for the GT3. We've also got Arnold and Khalifa for the GT4s, and obviously Eddie is not close enough to Thomas to do anything about it as well, so I think it's just between those few people just to get the last few battles in at the moment. So Samba will be crossing the line for the penultimate time, and he will be on his final lap of the race. It went his way at the start as well. Let's hope he doesn't celebrate early. He doesn't celebrate early, that is good. We'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. So let's watch Arnold and Khalifa then on the final lap, as this could get quite tense actually towards, I think it's the final few corners. I think some people could go a bit wide there as well, these two. Actually, it's not the final few corners, actually it's a different corner. It's turn 5, 6 and 7. It is quite similar the way the corners are shaped as well, which is why they are like that at the moment, but this could get pretty intense. Obviously the GT3 trying to get past, but we've got Connor and Jason then. Connor's found a bit more time on Jason in that lap then as well, and he's got a GT4 right behind right in front actually of Thomas, who is trying to, obviously he's going to be leading the race, going to be 3 wide. The GT4, oh my goodness, is going to get quite feisty because you don't want to be in each other's battles. Connor gets past Jason, I think, for P7, but Jason's holding on for dear life there as well, so we will see what happens there. But Samba, he's got a few more in the corners to negotiate. He has one of the most best starts I've seen in the season so far. Didn't quite make it work a lap later with Iris the Bulldog and Floppy Fox overtaking him, but Samba did what he needed to do, made the overtake he needed to.
Floppy Fox on the side of chicane. Floppy Fox tries to get into P2 and Benjamin, it is the Bulldog cuts the chicane to get into out of the way of the GT4. We miss Samba crossing the line, but actually it's Floppy Fox behind behind it is the Bulldog, just half second behind him.
Wow, so Samba wins, Iris the Bulldog just gets second, Floppy Fox third, Apex Rogue fourth, Milden crosses the line in fifth, not what he wanted. And we got Fly Sky, who is lapping one of the GT4s, I believe. Yes, he is. Badgerman crossed the line as well to finish in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th position in the GT4s. I nearly said the GT3s there. But here we go then. So we got Fly Sky up to the line. finished 5th. Another decent result for him. Keeping consistent. Almost in the top 3, but not quite. Connor gets P6 and with in really good battle with Jason. I have to say, very good pace from Jason this weekend. He's not last, he avoided the trouble, and he was able to get involved in battles, which was great to see. It's a big improvement from him. Thomas wins in the GT4 category, and then Eddie with a great performance as well to finish in P2. So a much better race for Eddie. So many decisions for driver of the day. It's going to be so hard to choose. Carmentis will come across the line in 3rd. And then we've got Khalifa and Arnoud having a bit of a battle of their lives at the moment. For the P11 and P12 overall. And for P4 and P5. And again, Khalifa will finish in P4. He likes his P4s, doesn't he? So, oh no, I don't want to quit. No, I want to click drive to get the timetables up. There we go. So, your GT3 results are as follows. Samba wins for Myris the Bulldog in 2nd, Floppy Fox 3rd, Apex Road 4th, Milden 5th, Fly Sky 6th, Corner 7th, Jason 8th, and Carrada obviously did not finish. GT4s. Thomas wins the race, Eddie 2nd, Comments 3rd, Khalifa 4th, Arnoud 5th, Badgerman 6th, Yamanigomate in 7th. Then we got Philip and Rageman who did not finish as well. And that is your overall results as well, just in case you want to see that. So, I think, do we have time? I don't think I'm not sure we have time for interviews or not. I think we should. But we do have 4 winners to go through. So we're going to be in for quite a long interview session. But there we go. We got to pick our drivers of the days, though. 1 each. I'll let you go first, Christian.
It's hard. If I have to decide between among everyone, there are too many names I want to mention. Also because I'm quite indecisive between Thomas, who made 2 races in, quite frankly, obliterating the field, and it is the Bulldog who, well, managed to put up great races, but I think I'm gonna put Thomas Vieira for driver of the day because of races and the result obtained. Because it is the Bulldog made up incredible races, but the results were not what he wanted. It was so hard for getting both time P2. So it's a bit of a sad ending for him actually.
What is your question?
How was it going from last to 2nd in 1 lap?
Nice question there. So,
I mean, I can do it in the M too. I can write it.
I can't even do that. It's very, very tough on who I think is going to get driver of the day. But I'm going to have to give it to Samba because that start in lap 1, I have to say, was insane. And he just missed out on the win in race 1, but he recovered in race 2 to get the win. And my question for Samba is, how important is it to keep your focus between one race to the next? I think that those words didn't make sense, but anyway, that is my question. So, who should we start with? Let's start with race 1, and we'll start with Apex Rogue, who got the win in the GT3s in race 1. It seems like a long time ago. So, Apex Rogue, can you hear us?
Hello.
Hello. Let's talk about race 1 because that's where you got the win as well. You got 5th last week. You got the race 1 win this week, and you got pole as well. It seemed that race 1 went your way. How did you feel about that? Because you seem to be very, very happy in the Twitch chat.
Yeah, I was very surprised. It's another instance, the same as round 1, where I was just like over a second faster again, and I don't know what I'm doing in practice. It's messing me. I was very, very surprised, and then I thought Iris was gonna get me that entire race. He was just on me the entire time. unfortunately Samba came along and just took him away from me. But I made a split decision at the end of the qualifying. I decided to stay on my qualifying setup because it was just so much faster than the race one I'd been using. And thankfully it ended up working for the first race.
Yeah, as well. Obviously, you were keeping Iris the Bulldog behind as well. That was quite tense, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's really good battling him. He's really fun to race against. There was once or twice that we had a bit of contact, but it wasn't enough to mess either of us up. So it was good fun. So it was.
Yeah, it seems like you enjoyed. Obviously, we won't talk about what happened in the second race because obviously you didn't go well for you there. But we go to Alton Park next week. We're trying to keep the interview short because we got twice the amount of people to interview this week. Alton Park next week. How are you feeling about that? And do you still think you can win the championship?
I don't know about the championship, but I know that I do enjoy Alton Park. So hopefully that I enjoy the track, I can convert that into good lap times. But it just depends. I never done it with the R8. I'm pretty sure I was only in the 720S. I never have drove Alton Park, so it's going to be interesting.
Brilliant. So we'll let you go. Congratulations, our winner from race 1 in the GT3's Apex Rogue. Right then, so let's move on to race 2 then, because I don't think our mentor's going to be joining us tonight. We will. I think we'll just do GT4s next because Thomas has been waiting very patiently for going into the interview room. So, Thomas, can you hear us? I don't think Thomas can hear us.
Yeah, it's the same mobile problem as always.
He's probably having problems with his phone. So let's try and get Samba in because I think he's not on his phone. So we'll try and get Samba in, and then we'll probably talk to Thomas in the waiting for interview. So we'll get Samba in first. So Samba, can you hear us? Oh, this is not going very well, isn't it? Samba, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
We always won't talk about what happened in the first race because that's where you did get your win. But what a second race for you, and what a start as well. Talk us through your thoughts going into that because that was probably one of the best starts I've seen in a long time in a GT3 race.
I've never had that good of a start. I was doing like 65 kilometers an hour, like 5 below what you can do. And then I think 1 second before the lights went off, I pressed the accelerator too much by accident. But I guess it worked because I had the best start of my life. So I couldn't complain. I was a bit stressing because I thought I would get like a drive-through penalty, but luckily I didn't get that.
Yeah, which was good news as well. And you were battling with the likes of Floppy Fox and Iris the Bulldog as well throughout pretty much. Well, you battled Iris the Bulldog pretty much both races as well. Was it tough fighting someone who was quite new to the league and potentially could be a threat to the championship?
Well, I mean, as you probably saw, we had some very nice battles on track. On lap 1, he did an amazing dive bomb. Like, he just went for it, and I couldn't do anything against it. And of course, Floppy, he also overtook me around the outside, which I was speechless by that overtake. But then they battled, and then some GT4 cars came into it as well. And then I was pretty much a bit lucky to just miss it all and just go through them two. And then after that, I think everything went my way and not their way. So.
Well, I'm a bit cautious that Chromeditz hasn't had a chance to ask a question yet. So, Christian, do you have any questions for our GT3 winner for race 2?
Actually, my doubt has been cleared because apparently your astonishing start has a reason to be happen. So, actually, I know we have little time, so I will just congratulate on you for the race, for astonishing pace, and being quite lucky in race 2, I guess, because that's what happened mostly of it. first with the start and then with the missed incident among the three of the ones you had in front. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And this was, by the way, also my first race where I didn't spin, so I was quite proud of myself.
Yay! There we go. So,
Get used.
One more quick question before we interview our GT4 winner. We go to Alton Park next week. Are you gonna have another race where you don't spin?
I think so, because I really like the track and the Porsche feels really good around the track. So I'll be confident in saying that I won't spin.
There we go. Absolutely lovely. So Samba, congratulations on your second win of the season as well. So brilliant stuff. So I think
Thank you.
So well done. I'll let you go and celebrate. So Christian, if that's all right, I think we have to do probably the same to what we did for other people who are on phones. We are going to go in ourselves into the Rainford interview room to see if it works. So we're just going to go in there now, if you'll let us. There we go. So Thomas, can you hear us?
Yeah, hello everyone.
Hey, there we go. Us going into a box kind of worked, I think, a bit better as well. What a debut from you as well. You started, you obviously started last in race 1, finished quite well in race 1, qualified well in race 2, and you won in race 2. That was a decent event for yourself.
I mean, yeah, it was pretty good. I could have done better in race 1. My goal was to get pole and win everything, but sometimes it's not possible. But I'm pretty happy with my result here.
Yeah, as well, because you obviously, I'm trying to think if you started pole in race 2. I think you did as well, and I didn't see what happened in the start in the GT4 in the GT4s in race 2 as well. Knowing that you had. Obviously, you didn't qualify in race 1 as well. Did that put you in a disadvantage going into race 2?
I mean, I think race 1 was a great preparation at the start. Overtaking everyone, I had a great start, so also work as a confidence boost. Yeah, I think I'll sort it out well at the end.
Yeah, and obviously it's your first race with us as well. Who would you say is your main rivals in this championship now? Even though you only got a few races left, but who would you say is your rivals you're probably going to be battling every race?
So, I mean, I hope I don't ballot too much. It's kind of tiring, but from what I've seen, Mentalist and Yati Eddy are pretty quick. So if I can win all races against them, I'd be really happy. They're really quick, guys.
Yes, we will move on to the next race of Alton Park as well. How are you feeling about that?
It's definitely a really technical track and really tiring. Race will be longer than what we had today at Sprint. It's not the best track for overtaking, but it's really fun to do it in the GT4s. I think blue flags will be a real problem because the track is so tiny and so short. It will be a bit of a mess, but I think I can hold on to it.
Yeah, excellent performance from yourself tonight, and best of luck for next week. Our race 2 winner for the GT4s, Thomas. Right.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone.
You're welcome. We'll let you go and celebrate. So that is it then for the stream. Apologies for the delay, obviously. Discord deciding to die on all of us, to be fair. There was, I think, a wide outage which affected not just Discord, but Spotify. And I kind of wanted Spotify as well. So that just shows quite important as well. So any final thoughts, Christian, before we wrap up?
Can we have more races like this, please?
Yes.
I like it.
I think race 1, more races like race 1. More races like race 1, because obviously there was more incidents in race 2, but there was quite interesting battles in race 2 as well. But yeah, Dexter, can we add Barcelona in the calendar next season, please, as well? Please. I've grown to love it now more than anything, so add Barcelona, that'll be lovely. So, yes, that is our thoughts. Heading to Alton Park next week. And to be honest, I'm kind of glad I filled in for John, because I wasn't meant to be commentating this week, but unfortunately due to John's voice, he unfortunately couldn't commentate. But again, John, get better soon, and hopefully he'll be in the box next week. I think he must have been gutted to miss this race. I kept just it wrong, John, next week, I promise. Make sure you check out our sponsors. Obviously, we got, I need to try and remember them now, SimGrid, Next Level Racing, 3M Sim Racing, Vespertine, ERT, and the Mental Health Foundation. You can follow us on Twitter at OneHub Racing, Instagram at OneHub Racing, Twitch at OneHub Racing, and YouTube, youtube.com/OneHub Racing. You can also follow us on our social medias as well. And yeah, we're going to let you guys go. I'm going to have a bit of a lie down, which I was meant to do 2 hours ago, but I had to fill in and stuff. Thank you, Christian, for joining us once again. Well, I always like you when let me get my words. I always love commentating with you, but this race especially, it was brilliant, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, thanks to OHL for give me the reason to shout a lot.
Yeah, we like your shouting, so thank you very much. So thank you for watching. See you next. Well, John and Chromedix will see you next week for Alton Park for the 60-minute race as usual. Have a good night. Congratulations to our winners and podium sitters. And we will see you next week. Have a good evening. Goodbye.
Good luck. Yeah, good night.